Let's see if it is on YouTube. Yeah. It takes like some seconds to see our image. Yeah, we are here.
Okay.
Okay, so I think we can start. I don't know if somebody, I think nobody's actually seeing us right now.
Okay. So maybe YouTube send a notification or something. So like in Instagram.
Yeah, I hope so. But anyways, this video will stay on my
On your channel?
YouTube channel, so people can watch it later. Very nice to have you here.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm very happy to be here today.
Accepting. Okay, so today we are going to talk about expat life plus toxic positivity during postpartum. And we are here with Gabriela Encina, which is a licensed psychologist, and we would like to know a little bit more about you. Can you tell us?
Okay, so I'm a licensed psychologist. I'm originally from Chile, and I moved abroad to Europe in 2010. So I'm also an expat, and I work with expat women from all over the world to help them or to support them into the path of the expat life they want by regulating their emotions, improving their relationships with others, with family, with friends, with their partner, and with themselves, and to regulate stress also and anxiety. And the most important thing, to prioritize themselves and to find their new identity abroad, wherever they're living.
It's really interesting. Expat life can be really challenging. You talked about finding a new identity. Do you know why it's not so easy to adapt?
Why it's not so easy? Because it depends on a lot of factors. Many people adapt more easily than others, but that doesn't mean that's easy, but easily. It depends on your culture, how you grew up, how many languages do you speak, if you are familiarized with the culture that you're moving into, if it's more or less similar than your culture or is completely different. It depends on on why did you move. You move for love, you move for a new job, or searching opportunities, adventure. So it's not like it's a difficult period, but it has a lot of different branches, let's say. But one thing I can say for a fact is always more difficult than we expect it to be, because it has so many beautiful things at the beginning, especially. The honeymoon phase, we call it. So after the honeymoon phase comes the reality phase, and then you start to see the things that you didn't see before, and you start to face challenges that even though you thought about them, and even if you read about them and you were prepared, still they strike you. Still they have something that is unknown and uncertain for you. So that's always, it's complicated, let's say.
Yeah. And you yourself, you had to go through these struggles somehow, because you came from far away.
Yes, I came from Chile, like I said before, and I moved to Austria. So even though it's not the same country as you are, they have a lot of similarities, starting with the language. And I don't know about your experience, but I took a course in Chile, a 3-month course, a German course. And I thought, okay, at least I can go to the, you would laugh already. At least I can go to the supermarket or order a coffee. And yes, little did I know that I froze every time I wanted to say hello. I think that was the only thing that I could say. And yeah, so it was very shocking. And I spoke English already. So I don't know if I mean, you should surely speak English, but before, so my thoughts were, I speak English. How difficult can it be?
Yeah, the same
Yes.
here. The same
Yeah.
here. I
Mm-hmm.
could say
Mm-hmm.
my name is Margarita, and that's it. When I arrived to
Yeah.
Germany, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's difficult, and that's why I decided to focus my work on expat women, on migrants or digital nomads, internationals, whatever you want to call yourself, because that's another issue. Women living abroad and struggling with the things that I had to struggle, and also with my experience as a psychologist. It's not only that I lived and I went through that, but also I'm prepared and equipped to help them transit through those challenges and flourish, like bloom after these challenges,
Yeah,
thrive.
And today we also would like to talk a little bit about toxic positivity. It is a little bit a hype right now. Everybody talks about it, but what is that exactly about?
Okay, I think I'm first of all, I'm really, really happy that people are talking about it. I started to talk about it 1 year ago, but it wasn't the hype that it is today. So I'm really happy, because it's toxic and it's very damaging for everyone, period. But we just spoke about the challenges that we face living abroad, being away from our family, being not having a strong support network with a different language, probably different culture, struggling to maintain our relationship, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And hearing things like I'll give examples, and then I will talk about I will define toxic positivity. Like the top one is, at least you get to live abroad. No, that when you start to say, oh, okay, I feel lonely, I don't understand the people, whatever is going through your mind, and people react as a good thing. They want to tell you, at least you get to live abroad. Don't complain, at least you get to live abroad. That's a very typical example of toxic positivity in our expat life. The second one is, why can you just be happy? Or the variation from that is, you have to be happy. And that's toxic positivity. It is forced optimism, forced happiness. You have to feel always happy under all circumstances. It doesn't matter what is happening to you. You have to always look the glass half full. You have to always stay positive and be positive and think it can be worse, or you have a perfect life in comparison to people, I don't know, dying or starving. There's those typical comparisons of, your life is great. Think of all these people dying of or struggling very hard, and then, of course, what are you going to say if someone says that? So you shut up. That is toxic positivity, and by forcing optimism and positivity, ignoring and bearing your real feelings, what you're really thinking and feeling, and what is telling you something right now. That's toxic positivity.
And why is that bad? Why it's bad to ignore your feelings and just stay positive all the time?
My favorite subject. Okay, first of all, I'm an advocate of negative emotions, because negative emotions are there for a reason. If you're feeling angry, if you're feeling sad, jealous, envious, frustrated, whatever, list all the negative emotions, it's because something is happening that has to change in your life, within yourself, with the people you are you have relationships. Something needs to be changed in one way or the other. So these emotions are giving you information, so ignoring them and just discharge them like, no, this is negative, no, that doesn't belong to my life. It's discharging and bearing and ignoring you, a part of you. Because nobody ever in the life, I have 22 years of experience as a psychologist. Never, ever, we are always positive and optimism and feeling joy. That's a lie, period, you know? So by ignoring those dark sides or bad sides, we are ignoring part of ourselves. So that is why toxic positivity is not only bad, but counterproductive, because negative emotions are not going away. The thing is, when you bury them. But like a strong root from a tree, they are going to come back and stronger and even more damaging, you know? So that's why toxic positivity is bad.
Yeah, our life is ups and downs.
Exactly. And that doesn't mean that you don't have to be positive, you know, or it's not, or not to stay with a negative emotion, but to give them space. And then after you give them space and you hear what the emotion is telling you, then you can concentrate or put your attention on the good things, on the positive things, you know? Sorry, now I'm done. I wanted to say that too.
Okay, and now transporting all that information to the postpartum life. You know, we just had a baby. The first time we should be like the best in our life. We should be happy all the time because is everything we could wish for. You know, the society thought we were wishing for, and so being sad at that time can be really triggering, because we are supposed to be happy. And it's not only something that comes from inside, you know, it's not only you that are feeling, okay, my baby is healthy, and why am I feeling so sad or even depressed? And then people come and you say, oh, today I'm so tired, or today I don't feel that good. And then they say, oh, but look at your baby. Every time you look at your baby, I'm sure everything goes away.
It's away, yeah.
You know, this type of comments. I think I'm fortunate. I didn't receive that much of that.
Not that much, okay.
But it's like, I think it's instant also, you know, it's a little bit, people want to push you up. It's not bad intended also.
No.
Even if sometimes it might feel like you have bad vibes. Go away with your bad vibes, you know. Because I have here a bubble of good vibes and I don't want you to destroy my bubble. You know, it could be both things, but at least my experience, I just received, or I perceived as good intention comments, but they were still toxic positive.
Yes, yeah.
And I actually forgot to introduce myself in the beginning.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, so just for you to have an idea, my name is Marga. So I moved to Germany in 2013, and I married a German, and we have a little boy, almost 3 years old, and we're expecting a girl here, my belly. So living all this postpartum time in a foreign country was for sure challenging. My boy's birth was okay, but he was born with what they call here in Germany problem to adapt to breathe.
Okay.
And so the pediatrician that was working in that hospital decided that he needed to take antibiotics, even if was everything fine with his oxygen. He was crying in a weird way. I don't know.
Okay.
It was the first time I had a baby, so for me was everything okay. But then there was no place for him in the intensive care in the hospital here in the city where I live, also not in the next city. And so they sent him to a city that is more or less 30 kilometers from here. And nobody could go with him in the ambulance. And they told me that I could also not go there because they didn't have a place for me there. I was really down, I have to say. It was tough. I was not prepared for that. It's like first pregnancy, I was just Googling everything related to the pregnancy. I was not Googling or to the birth, but what could be, maybe I would not have a natural birth, maybe I would have a C-section, these kind of things, but not that something could be wrong with my baby. I don't know why I didn't Google for that. So I was definitely not prepared. And then I remember texting a friend that this is awful. He's going very far away to this other city. And then she wrote me back, it's not that far. And I was like, okay, I understand that you don't know everything that I'm passing through, but for me it feels like other country, not easy to overcome. But what I felt is like I kind of a little bit shut down concerning this friend. I'm telling which feelings I was having related to postpartum. I think this was my main toxic positivity experience. Right. I don't know if it's considered postpartum or stillbirth. It was challenging, and of course, this is my feelings and my perspective. I'm sure she just wanted me to be positive.
Thank you for sharing that. That was really powerful. Thank you. I'm sure that people watching this are going to and that experience that or are going to experience. Partum, not what happened to you with toxic positivity, are going to be grateful that you share that. So thank you for that. I want to say something very particular to the fact that people saying those things are not bad intention. I'm sure that your friend loves you. That's not the point. That's not the point.
Yeah.
The point is that you didn't need that, whatever that her intention was, or her. You needed to be heard, to be comfort, and to hear. Okay, I'm here with you. For example, I'm going to stay with you in the phone. Or I'm going to call you, or something like that. You don't need solutions. You don't need because there is no solution for that particular thing. You are not riding with him in the ambulance, period. It doesn't matter how she says it or whatever, whoever said that, it's not going to relieve your pain. But being there with the person, that's the only thing that you can do to help. And it's the same with everything. It's the same with, at least you get to live abroad, or think of the children dying in Africa, or but in Chile, you heard that till today, So it's about you as the one who were target of toxic positivity. You shouldn't think, okay, at least, she didn't mean it that way, So this train of thought of justifying her or trying to understand her, when the one who needed to be understood and to be comforted and to be supported was you,
So that protected me somehow. Or if I try to understand her, then I protect my feelings. I don't classify my feelings as being exaggerated.
Exactly. But that requires energy from you that you don't have. That's why, I mean, of course, that's our mechanism to justify, because we love the person and we know that she didn't mean to harm me or harm you or harm whatever, whoever. And that's our way to justify our feelings as well. But that shouldn't be happening if you are the one in need, if you are the one struggling, you know what I mean? So that is why it's so important. That's why it's so important that we talk about it and that we educate people and that we educate ourselves, because we usually do the same thing to others and to ourselves, right?
That's so true. That's so true. Yesterday, my husband asked me, "But what is that about that you're going to talk?" And then I started explaining him, and then I told him, "I think I make this to you all the time." So,
what did you say?
I said, "I'm sorry." He said, "Oh, so I hope you learned something there."
You know what? But this we are not comfortable with negative emotions, not with our own ones, not with the ones from others. And always our tendency, because usually we love this person or we care about this person, is to protect.
Yeah.
And the totally wrong way, but the way that we think it will be better to protect this person is toxic positivity. You know, yeah, but you have to go and you have to, if you feel bad, you have to be good. You have to think positive, you know? Yes, because we don't know what to do if we are not doing anything. You know what I mean?
That's true. I try always to find a solution, and then if I can't, I just push him to be positive. And sometimes I'm afraid I'm not taking into consideration his feelings. And fears.
Yeah.
So, do you have some tips for not being toxic positive?
Okay, to avoid toxic positivity from you or towards you, the first thing is accept whatever you're feeling. If you're feeling desperate in this moment because you can't see your baby, you are feeling desperate, and that's okay. Okay, and this okayness of feeling whatever you're feeling opens a door for that feeling to go away. You know, if you reject the feeling that you're feeling, Achtung, is about the feeling, not about the thinking. That's another YouTube live for another time. We are talking about the feelings now, okay?
Not the logic.
Exactly, not the thinking about the feeling, but the feeling. If you let it express, it will go away. If you cover it, if you push it, if you push it inside, if you ignore it, it's going to stay. So that's the first thing. Whatever you're feeling, anger, sadness, desperation, overwhelmed, it's because of something. Validate that. That's the first thing. The second thing, when you are sharing that, because it's not easy to share those things, because it's very easy to share when you're happy and excited and you have good news. But when you're struggling, it's difficult. So be careful who you choose to share your feelings. That's the first thing. The second thing, if the person reacts the way that you don't want, like this, at least you, or whatever, toxic positivity, encourage empathy by saying, okay, now I don't need solutions. Now I need to be heard. Please hear me. Please listen to me. Because people, like we established before, they want to love you. They want to be a source of help. And the source of help you need is not tips or advices, but hey, I'm here with you. I'm listening to you. I'm so sorry that you're going through this. That's it. Okay. And the same for yourself. When you feel, when you have a friend or your partner or whoever is sharing something with you, and you feel like the urge of doing something or saying something useful, ask yourself or ask the person, do you need, what do you need from me? What do you want from me? What is useful now? You know, don't be afraid to ask things, because usually sadly, we assume the bad thing or the wrong thing, and we act from that assumption, and we mess up. Not intentionally, again, but we do it. So ask. Encourage empathy if you feel it's towards you, and if you feel the urge to say something positive, ask the person what she or he needs.
Okay.
Those are my advices or tips.
I think you have also a YouTube video just about that.
Exactly. About EXPAT Life in particular. Yeah, my last YouTube video is about that.
We can leave it also in the description of this video, so people can watch it.
Yeah, I encourage people to watch it, to grab a pen and to write, like positivity, toxic positivity is a thing. Be careful and watch out, please.
Yeah. And could be that a person that really needs help, mental health help, avoids it because he's receiving all of this toxic positivity. And then it turns into something really big when could be contained from the beginning.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I encourage people always to take mental health very seriously. And when you feel that is something off, I wouldn't say wrong, but it's something off, and you are sharing that, it is continually being pushed or being ignored or being or you don't get the help that you need because those people love you, but they are not mental health professionals. Okay, so I encourage people always to ask for help, a therapist, a psychologist. If it's mental health specific, please direct your efforts to mental health professionals. If it's more like goal setting or things like that, coaching. But if it's something like anxiety or something more deep than that, psychologists and therapists trained to do that. Always ask for help. That's a sign of courage, and that you are prioritizing you and your well-being in order to be able to love the others better. Because if you are doing awful, you are not capable of expressing or giving all the love that you want to give, if you know what I mean. Because people say usually, okay, no, but I want to prioritize my relationship, my children. Yes, of course. But if you don't put yourself first, you can't prioritize the others. It's like the masks in the plane. It's the same thing. You have to put the mask first. If not, the children around you or the people that can't put the mask can't be helped by you, you know?
Of course.
So it is important to think about it, not as an egoistic way, but as a generous way to love the others better, to love yourself better, and unlimitedly, unlimited, and then you can love the others better too.
Okay. And we don't want to be toxic positive, but we also don't want to be negative, Until where can we push positivity in a healthy way? Because I'm asking you because I remember talking about some concerned situations during postpartum with my mother. And she was always very compassionate about that. And actually she starts sharing also some of her histories, not before I was passing through my own postpartum. And then I felt a little bit like, okay, this happens also to other women, and this is kind of normal. I understood it's also a phase. And then she told me that my grandmother told her that it was a phase and then everything goes slowly a little bit better. And I didn't feel that as toxic positive on me, because at first it was this conversation about understanding my feelings and so on. And then afterwards giving me some, bright thoughts about the future.
Like the light at the end of the tunnel, right?
Exactly. Exactly. And then I guess my grandmother did the same with my mother. and then my mother shared everything with me, and that helped me. So until how can we be positive still, but not be toxic?
Yeah. Oh, that's a great question. I think I have the contrary example to underline your example.
Okay.
Everything will work out in the end. That's also a very typical phrase from toxic positivity.
Yeah.
Everything will work out in the end. Everything in that phrase is abstract. The complete different, not the complete, but different is that your mother, who went through exactly or very similar what happened to you, and her mother, you probably went through the same thing. They know that it's limited. They are not saying that everything is going to be all right in the end. They are saying what is happening to you now is going to pass, and you will feel better after a while, after it passes, because the hormones, but it is a particular time and place, and that's different. If you don't feel it like a toxic, but if you don't feel pressure, I think that's the indicator. Toxic is toxic when you feel like you have to please the other person, or when you hear those things and you feel bad about it and not good.
Understand.
That's toxic. That's your bar to measure what is toxic and what is not. The same when you say things, or when you have this tendency of saying things. First, ask yourself if you went through something similar, so they can learn from your experience. I can tell you that what happened to me lasted a while and then it will pass.
Okay.
That's different from just saying, it will pass, it will be 2 months, and do you understand the difference?
Or being sure that will happen the same to this other person,
Exactly. What happened to me is that after 3 months, 6 months, 2 weeks, whatever, I felt better, and I'm sure it's going to be similar for you.
Exactly.
Or I guess, or I assume, but not. It will be, and it will be exactly like my experience, or just talking about something that you never experienced and you have no idea, but that it will work out in the end. That's a completely different perspective from your side. And again, so if you're receiving toxic positivity, trust your gut. Okay. If you're hearing something from someone, it doesn't matter how much you love this person. If you feel uncomfortable or pushed or pressured, or you don't want to hear that, then say it. Because we have to educate people we love.
Yeah.
I hope I answered your question, because like I told you before, I get very passionate and
of course, no, you did. Yes.
Okay, great. I'm happy.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Very enlightening. And you gave us really good tips on how to deal with toxic positivity both ways.
Exactly. Thank you for having me. I really, really wish that people watching are going to be benefit
me too,
of this.
me too.
And
and
really happy to be here.
You coach people online. You have clients.
I offer counseling.
Okay.
Online. Yes, online, exclusively online, and I work with people from all over the world, with women and also men, actually. Oh. But I have a couple of male clients. It's really nice, but mostly with women. I have clients literally from the 5 continents, living in the 5 continents: Africa, Asia, America, and Europe, and Australia. And I offer counseling in English, Spanish, and German. And they can contact me. I'm sure you will leave my contact information. And they can also book a 30-minute free session if they are thinking about counseling. So they can meet me and we can have a chat, and if we can find out if we are the right fit for each other. Because for all the people watching, the indicator of of a successful counseling process is the relationship between the psychologist and the client. All the other things are important, that the expertise and the techniques and the things we do in the session, but the relationship is the most important thing. So it is important that before you decide to work with someone, you see if you understand each other.
So there are studies proving that.
Yes, 70%.
Yeah. Really interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so great that you have this opportunity of the 30 minutes call.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me, and hope to see you soon again.
Yeah, so I will leave all the relevant links on the description of this video here down. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, subscribe to Gabriela's channel, and follow us on social media. We are a lot on Instagram. I do sometimes some TikTok videos and Facebook. Yeah, so thank you all to be here, and see you on the next video. Bye.